It's day 11 of designing a festive island in 30 days without using my storage, and friends, today is moving day. I do want to be very transparent about the fact that once I started playing around with my stunted trees, I went a little bananas. I started moving villagers in their forever place and really started to understand how crucial trees can really make or break a build. And I'm really just loving this right now. I go through these days where one day is panicking and then the next day I feel really emboldened and empowered to keep this going. Like, I'm going to be able to do this in 30 days. But I did want to be transparent about the fact that off screen yesterday, I did a lot of bell grinding with the money trees because I think that is going to be the strategy for today, since I will be moving buildings and time traveling anyway, that it makes sense to just be incredibly lazy. She and I are still on not speaking terms, although I think I will try to utilize her today in order to see if I can make a little bit of money. But I'm truly hoping in my heart of hearts that if I just leave these money trees alone, that I can start paying off as many inclines as possible. I was really hoping to get my house to 3 rooms. I don't know if that'll happen or if it'll be later in the challenge, but we're going to hope for the best. Taking a look at the map, we need to move 4 villagers today. I do officially have an incline, the first incline of this island, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And if we are going to min-max this island at the very least to make sure that it's accessible to villagers, we're going to at least need 4 inclines or 3 inclines and a bridge. I haven't decided whether or not that small area by Jacques' house is going to be connected by incline or bridge. It probably makes sense to connect it by bridge, but we'll see. It's also just amazing, really, how stunted trees play an important role of making things feel lush, because it felt really empty, and I do think that it will feel empty for a while because we are trying to fill things with festive items and other items that'll really make this island pop. But I am feeling pretty good about it. It looks practically finished. You know, ignoring item beach over here, the total mess of my area right here, whatever the heck this is. But yeah, completely and totally finished. You'll also have noticed that I did time travel back to early in December. I did that for a couple of reasons, mostly because I didn't realize that by continuously time traveling within 1 week, Nook's Cranny wouldn't change out flowers. Imagine. So I went back into November. I got the Turkey Day DIYs because I think those will be really nice for adding a couple of items throughout the island itself. But also, even if I'm not really able to make my house have 3 rooms, I was thinking, because I've been struggling with where to put my house, what if I turn my house into like meeting Santa? So I think we're going to stick with that and put my house behind the museum somewhere and make that part of the museum decoration, so it does feel very intentional, because I couldn't figure out where to put my house. While I'm here, I'm also going to get a natural incline to have at least 1 incline for the back area. We're going to go with the natural ramp because it is cheaper, and also I think I want to keep the back relatively natural. I have an idea for that big area, and as we walk and talk, I'll need to chop down a couple of trees as well. The goal has been to try to keep the exteriors relatively similar. One of the things that I do regret about having Astrid move away was that the exterior of her house was perfect alongside the Able sisters, but she and I just weren't vibing. It's not anything negative, it's just we weren't getting on, and I wasn't sure whether or not she would achieve bestie status. But I am trying to keep similar house exteriors together. So we're going to be putting Jacques and Biff over here. It is really hard because their houses are so stark in contrast. And so I liked the idea of perhaps making, like, giving their houses sort of like a camp quality, like you are in a cabin for the holidays with family. So I think that's what we're going to do for these two. And again, here is even more of a mess. I finally did get quite a few flowers. I don't think I'm going to be using much of these flowers for the build, but I wanted to cover my bases just in case. I think I will be sticking with mostly red lilies and really any of the white flowers. I do want to get some white mums. I think that'll add a really lovely addition. But the red lilies just make for a perfect winter vibe. I don't remember the plant's name, so don't at me because I'm admitting my ignorance. But isn't there like a plant that is very popular during the holidays, and almost anyone with pets will say don't get them because they're heavily poisonous or something? They remind me of those flowers, and the red lily adds a lot of really beautiful color and texture. So I think we're going to stick with that, and maybe in the back we'll add a few more flowers that are red. Fingers crossed that I can put the incline here without removing any of the fence. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that. That looks really nice. That's pretty. Yeah. We're absolutely going to do that. I don't have a bunch of money right now. The goal is to grind for bells in the laziest way possible. So we're just going to throw Lloyd a few thousand bells and hope for the best. I need to clear up a bit of my inventory by replanting these flowers. I will have to devote a day to making a few DIYs because this is really starting to get to me right here. The problem though is that I really do need to hold on to the iron nuggets specifically for the ornament DIYs. But I do think that as well as doing a money grind and moving villagers, that I do need to start getting more DIYs. The other thing is that I really do need to figure out where to put Agnes. I do want to either put Agnes here and give her either a flower shop or something where people can buy flowers for the holidays, or I was thinking of putting her on the first tier level by Molly's house, so in D6, either that or placing her in E5 as another house before getting to the boardwalk or the beach houses where I've put Cookie and I will be putting Clay. I'm not sure. I do think that I want to put her somewhere where it fills up the map somewhat with houses, but I want it to be intentional, so I'll have to think on it. With my excess time traveling, I do want to be mindful to not put fully grown cedar trees back here, or at least a lot of them, because for a festive island, Isabel really does a lot of the work, and she tends to like decorate a lot of trees in one specific area. So I do want to cut down quite a few of the trees and just either let them be in their permanent place, because when you lift a tree, they will lose their lights, which is really frustrating. I don't want all of the cedar trees decorated back here and not many in the front. I hate to do this, but while I'm thinking about it, I think I want to get turnips specifically to start moving trees, because I don't want to cut down all of those trees and start wasting space for resources in my inventory. Oh, Daisy May, scamming for the second time in a challenge. How dare you? I don't think we're going to use that much, but it will be helpful to start moving the stunted trees everywhere. So we'll support a local business, I guess. Again, the joys of only having my inventory to work with. I hate it. I'll have to remember that I buried wood over here. So now here comes the fun part of being very intentional about the larger trees, especially when it comes to looking across the river. I do think that I would really love to have specifically a bridge over here. We'll probably use the log bridge for this because it's really cheap, but I really love the flat wood bridge. It's one of my favorites. So if Jacques and Biff are going to be here, I want to make sure that this is relatively clear with maybe a few resources like shrubs and flowers, maybe a tree, but for the most part, I want to keep this relatively clear because I want there to be a very discernible path behind the houses. Design-wise, the further back that the island goes, the less beachy and more, I would say, mountainous that I hope to make it, although I do want to add quite a few more bamboo and orange trees back here. There is one lone apple tree that has taken up permanent residence in Molly's area. So I think I want to add maybe a couple more peach trees right around here, and then have it just either be all hardwood and cedar trees up there, or I don't know, I'll think about it. That's the joy about my specific decorating style in Animal Crossing, is I am a tinkerer. I will just play around with things, walk away, and then come back and try something new, which is why I always have a really hard time recording builds, because it's not going to be a permanent thing, you know? This truly is a lot more obnoxious than I thought it was going to be, because this happens so often. We're going to plant this final tree right here, and to just make use of the day as best I can, we're going to look for the message in the bottle. And Murphy got us a dark bamboo rug. That's cool. Don't know if I'll use that, but thanks, Murphy. Check which villager is crafting, and it happens to be Benedict cooking a nom. Clear out my inventory because I am hurting for space. It occurs to me that I probably should have put the incline by Molly's place, but you know what? Her house, her area is probably one of the most finished right now, so she can get over it. But we'll finish with watering our crops and then move on to the next day. So it's a rinse and repeat for today. We are going to gather the fully grown money trees. Oh yeah, we're starting to make money. We're cooking with coconut oil. We'll move Biff this time. We're going to place him here. And because I have no self-control whatsoever, we're going to pay off this incline officially. That means at the very least, we need 2 inclines and a bridge, or 3 inclines, in order to fully min-max the accessibility for this island. The villager crafting today is Renee, and she's cooking. Can you all just, like, instead of being culinary geniuses, give me something that I can actually build with? Today's DIY bottle comes from Colton, and it is a decayed tree. Listen, Colton, Bobby, you are incredible. I cannot believe I just lucked out on an amazing item. It's great for, like, winter islands or fall islands, but I think decayed trees will really fill in the space, especially for something up here. Oh man, it really does benefit to take your time and grinding for DIYs this way. I am so excited for that. We're going to continue the money-making momentum by watering our crops, collecting even more bells. Let's go. Sell the first wave of crops because, again, I have no storage. Buy a few of these items because I have no self-control. Consider my poor life choices by not having any storage, which means I can't buy any of these unless I want to replace what I already have. Love it. If I'm going to turn my house into a Meet with Santa photo op, I probably should purchase flooring and wallpaper that actually meets that vibe. We're going to collect the second wave of crops. Also place these items down because I really just do not have the space. The carrots sell for nearly 20,000 bells, which is incredible. I'm actually really considering perhaps upgrading my house as well. Maybe, but I think I'm going to wait till the next day. As usual, we're going to plant our nursery money tree. Be completely stressed out over this one specific house and where I'm going to place her. And, Benedict, what you thinking? Benedict, no. You know what? You know what, buddy? Maybe a cranky will finally autofill. Maybe we'll have a crank that will give us some balance to this island. So you have a great time. I really do like Benedict though. He was a cutie. I've really come to love the chickens, especially Egbert and Benedict. They're really cute. But anyway, we're going to completely procrastinate with Agnes's house by moving clay. And while I'm here, I'm going to finally officially make it so that Molly's area is accessible to every single villager. That is part of the objective complete. And I had considered giving her a wooden staircase to make it look very, like, I love the wooden staircase. It's so aesthetically pleasing to me, but I am the sort of person that likes to apply some semblance of realism to my builds, in the sense that if she has a tree farm It would be downright obnoxious and annoying to try to lug a tree down this beautiful staircase. So I think what we're going to do instead is give her a natural ramp. It's also cheaper, so it'll be easier for me, and I think it's going to look lovely. We're going to put clay right here next to Cookie, place down Molly's new incline, and it looks like I'll even be able to pay it off today. That's really exciting. And we are just barely able to pay off the incline. Yes, let's go. And just like that, not only are we very poor, we are that much closer to making our island accessible to our villagers. That's so great. We found our daily DIY on the beach from Chops, and it is a rose bed. I don't know if I will use that, but it's a new DIY, can't complain. I will, however, complain the fact that your house is giving me such a headache. And in trying to see which villager is crafting, we have our poor friend Biddy who is sick. Oh no. Oh no. Well, only one thing left to do.
The next day.
I'm not the sort of person who ignores villagers when they're sick, but it is really important for me to make sure that I maintain friendship with the villagers as much as possible, because I do have the goal to get a photo from at least one villager during these 30 days. Will it be Biddy? I don't know. I don't think so. I am hoping or expecting it to be Agnes, and Sisterlies are pretty easy to get their photos from. But we are going to be a good friend. We are going to do our due diligence. Biddy, I brought you medicine and joy. Please take care of yourself, especially during the holidays where you are surrounded by a lot of people. Mask up, ladies, gentlemen, and others. Aw, Biddy, you didn't have to do that. Just your a rugby uniform. Really? I mean, you know what? Because Benedict is leaving, is today the day that I get a photo? No, it's not. It's literally a murder outfit. Love it. This time we have clay crafting, an orange wall mounted clock. Again, an interior item that I don't know if I'll be using, especially for the photo op with Santa, but again, a new DIY is a new DIY. I really can't avoid this any longer. I need to pick where I'm putting Agnes. The three options I had were to put her here in this very large, very beautiful space that I think I could really utilize. But ultimately, and I know I'm going to just hate it. I'm absolutely going to hate it. I think I want to put her here right in the center of my farm area and give her a flower garden that is the most befitting of all Sisterlies, which means we have a lot of work today. It also means we have a lot of crops in general, so we're going to have to manage this, but this inventory is really starting to get to me. My intention is to put an incline here eventually, either a ramp or a wooden staircase. That's going to be another project, but what I want to do is probably put her right in the center here so that, you know, if I am able to put a bridge here, which looking at it, I don't think I'll be able to, at least here, maybe here, that it'll make sense, it'll flow really nicely. So we just have to deal with it today. While I'm picking up these crops, I think what I could end up doing is making that blank space right behind Cookie's area. I could probably turn that into a farm. That would probably work out pretty well in my favor. Farms are really easy to fill up a lot of space and look very intentional, but considering that I am trying to keep things in season, I don't know if pumpkins are a summer squash. I think that they are considered a winter squash, but you know what? We may just have to allow for the lack of realism just this once. I like how Molly is just going up and down that ramp being like, see, was it that hard to make it so I can get up and down from my house? I love it. Actually, I really love her build. It is It's perfect. It's so simple and so elegant, and it fits the vibe so well. And I can't wait for Isabel to decorate the back trees with the lights. It's going to look beautiful. I'm really excited. Because I'm pressed for time, I do want to purchase Agnes's house so that I can just move the bare minimum crops to the area where I plan to have the community garden. But we have been incredibly productive today. We've been making a lot of money, paying off a lot of the inclines, and I think by the next day we should have met or be very close to meeting the objective of making this island accessible and having, at the very least, all of the island homes moved to their permanent spot and all of the inclines and bridges that we're going to need to make it accessible at the bare minimum. But I am hoping that over the next couple of days, we will make this island flow a lot better, because I don't want people running around and scrambling to try to figure out how to navigate the island via Dream Address. While I'm also here, I think I'm going to put down a wooden log bridge on the back left of the island, because I do think that will flow better anyway. And who knows, I may have enough space for an incline there as well, but I think I want to start with the bridge. Oh, that looks so nice. Yeah, we're going to keep it. That's perfect. We're going to place down Agnes's spot to see whether or not I will lose any of the pumpkins in the back. Oh, it looks like I'll lose a few in the front, though. I'll consider that an acceptable loss. That'll be fine. I moved enough. Oh no, I lost a couple of my gyroids, though. Oh no. And now for the final piece for today, saying goodbye to a friend. Benedict, I wish you the best of luck. Happy holidays wherever you go. But this is so sweet. On TV, nobody says goodbye. Well, unless it's a real sad movie. No. What TV folks do is they smile and they say, I'll see you later. Oh, Benedict, I'm really gonna miss you. And so that's why, Artsy, I'll see you later. Well, friends, we had probably our most productive day yet, with moving villagers, paying off quite a few inclines, and really prioritizing making money through money trees and crops. And hopefully by tomorrow, we'll have met the objective of making this island accessible, planning where our fully grown cedar trees will hopefully be decorated for the festivities. And when that video is ready, it'll be on screen right now.